There is now audio of a billionaire admitting that Donald Trump did indeed share with him in private secret information. This is an incredible revelation. This is from Rolling Stone. Billionaire brags about Trump sharing secret information with him. This is from 60 Minutes Australia. It involves multi-billionaire Anthony Pratt. And the backstory is as follows. 2 weeks ago, media reported Trump reportedly revealed information about U.S. nuclear submarine capabilities to Australian billionaire Anthony Pratt. Yesterday, 60 Minutes Australia played recordings of secret tapes where Pratt disclosed other non-public information Trump shared with him, including information about U.S. military operations in Iraq, as well as Trump's conversations with the presidents of Iraq and Ukraine. Here's the introduction from 60 Minutes, and then we'll listen to some of that audio tape.
It's hardly an insult to say Donald Trump has a big mouth. It's a truth even his most ardent supporters acknowledge. For years, what he said has often caused trouble. 2 weeks ago, US media accused the former president of leaking classified information about America's submarine fleet to Australian billionaire Anthony Pratt. Trump denies any secrets were disclosed. But tonight, we have our own leak.
Right.
In this joint investigation with the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age, 60 Minutes has obtained audio recordings of Anthony Pratt. They reveal the businessman's extraordinary dealings with Trump and a whole lot more.
So let's now go to some of this audio. It is extraordinarily remarkable stuff. And of course, if what he is saying is true, it's amazing that Trump just talks about this stuff so openly. It is yet another national security risk of having Trump in the Oval Office.
Conversation he had with the president in late 2019, shortly after the commander-in-chief had ordered a military strike against Iraq.
I hadn't even heard it. It hadn't even been on the news yet. He said, I just bombed Iraq today.
According to Pratt, even after that, Trump wouldn't be quiet. He went on to repeat details of the private phone call he just had with a furious Iraqi leader.
He said, I just bombed Iraq today. And the president of Iraq called me up and said, you just leveled my city. And he said, and I said to him, okay, what are you going to do about it?
Are you surprised that Anthony Pratt got such access to President Trump?
I think Trump was trying to impress him. Well, you may be a billionaire, but I'm a multi-billionaire, and besides, I'm president, and I know things that you don't. I do think that's very typical Trump behavior.
Indeed. Incredible that Trump is allegedly going around talking about this stuff. Now, as always, when we get these stories, there are those who say, oh, this isn't believable. You're hearing it secondhand. This is nothing Trump would do. Except it's exactly what we know Trump would do. We now have the audio recording where I believe it was at Bedminster. Trump is shaking around papers and saying, this is secret stuff. You know, I'm not really supposed to be showing you this. It's the exact same theme, especially when we talk about Anthony Pratt, not a guy who would be incentivized to lie, particularly on these audio tapes. So as usual, you would think that conservative voices who hold national security and military activity as the most sacred and private and sensitive thing would be absolutely blasting Trump for having allegedly shared this information, but just silence, literally silence from them. And if there's a counterfactual thought experiment that is useful here, just imagine for a second that we found out, oh, you know what? Barack Obama was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, or Barack Obama was hanging out with George Soros, and he mentioned some confidential military operations that were not yet public at that time. Just imagine, it would be not days, not weeks, it would be months, if not years of scandal, a dozen congressional hearings like they did to Hillary over Benghazi. But here, I guess this isn't the real story. The real story is probably, I don't know, Hunter Biden's laptop or something along those lines. As I said before, it will take years to learn the full scope of what happened. And it is taking years, and we are still learning more almost every single week. We'll be right back.